Major Declan Thornton. White House Communications. Situation Room. November 3rd, 2025. Time is 14:32 hours Eastern Standard. I'm recording this. Official documentation. Someone needs to know what actually happened here. What was said? What wasn't said? The president just authorized retaliation. 8 minutes ago. Full strategic response. Every missile. Every bomber. Every submarine. We launched everything. That's not what I'm recording this about. Russian first strike hit 12 minutes ago. 14:23 hours. Their SLB-MIS submarine launched ballistic missiles. We detected them at 14:14. 9 minutes warning. NORAD confirmed. DSP satellites tracked the launches. Authentic. Real. 23 cities. Military installations. That was their first wave. Norfolk. Kings Bay. Omaha. Colorado Springs. San Diego. Seattle. All primary targets. The strikes are hitting right now. As I'm speaking. People are dying. Millions of people. My son Owen. He's 9 years old. Bethesda Elementary School. 3rd grade. Mrs. Reeves's class. 8 miles northwest of the White House. The White House is target 1 on the Russian list. Always has been. 800 kiloton airburst. That's the assessment. At 8 miles the thermal effects. 3rd degree burns through windows. The school has a basement shelter. Protection factor 7. I know because I checked. 2 years ago, when I took this posting, I checked every shelter within 10 miles. Protection factor 7 isn't enough. Not for 800 kilotons at 8 miles. Owen's at school right now. It's Monday, 2:30 in the afternoon. He's in class. Or maybe recess. He loves recess. Plays soccer with his friends. Tyler and Marcus. They're inseparable. The 3 of them. I can't reach him. I tried. Cell networks are overloaded. Everyone calling everyone. I tried the school directly. Busy signal. Emergency services. Can't get through. Every line is jammed. My wife Jennifer. She's at Walter Reed. She's a nurse. Trauma unit. 8 miles east. Same distance. Same thermal radius. Same danger. I can't reach her either. Tried 6 times. Straight to voicemail. Network's collapsing. I'm in the situation room. Hardened facility. 100 feet underground. Filtered air. Blast doors. This is COG, continuity of government. This facility survives. The people in it survive. My family is 8 miles away and I can't reach them. But that's not why I'm recording this. The president authorized retaliation at 14:31. Our full nuclear arsenal. We're launching everything we have. 450 ICBM-MIS 14 Ohio-class submarines. 60 B-52s with cruise missiles. Everything. Targeting Russian cities. Military installations. Their command structure. Their population centers. Moscow. St. Petersburg. Volgograd. Novosibirsk. 140 million people in the target zones. The Russian second wave launched 4 minutes ago. 14:47. Their response to our retaliation. Another 300 warheads. Targeting cities we didn't lose in the first wave. New York. Boston. Philadelphia. Miami. Atlanta. Houston. Dallas. Los Angeles. Every major population center. This is it. Full exchange. Mutual assured destruction. MAD. The thing we trained for. Planned for. Never thought would actually happen. Impact on Washington, D.C. is projected for 14:52. 20 minutes from now. 18 minutes now. The warhead is inbound. 800 kilotons. Airburst over the White House. I'm looking at the projection on the screen right now. Ground zero coordinates. Right here. Right above us. Owen is 8 miles away. Jennifer is 8 miles away. They're both in the severe thermal effects radius. The school shelter won't protect against thermal pulse through windows. The hospital. Walter Reed has better shelter. Underground parking. Protection factor 15. Better odds. Not good odds. Better. I should have gotten them out. Yesterday. Last week. When the tensions were escalating. When Russia mobilized. When we moved to DEFCON 2. I should have put them on a plane. Sent them to Jennifer's parents in Montana. Middle of nowhere. Safe. I didn't. I thought diplomacy would work. Thought cooler heads. Thought we'd pull back from the edge like we always do. 16 minutes now. Here's why I'm recording this. The president is preparing a final address. Right now, in the adjoining room. Speechwriters are working on it. Final message to the American people. To be broadcast on emergency alert system. Every channel. Every frequency. Final words from the President of the United States. I'm the one who's going to transmit it. That's my job. White House Communications. I route all presidential broadcasts. I have the authentication codes, the equipment, the authority. I've seen the draft. First draft came through 7 minutes ago. I'm the one who reviewed technical feasibility, transmission parameters, signal strength, coverage area. I read it. That's why I'm recording this. The speech, the final presidential address. It's not what people think it's going to be. 14 minutes. Let me try Owen again. I'm calling. Bethesda Elementary. School's emergency line. Ringing. Still ringing. No answer. Trying Jennifer. Walter Reed. Her direct number. Voicemail. Network's dying. Systems overloaded. 13 minutes. The president's going to deliver the address in 10 minutes. 14:45. 7 minutes from now. 5 minutes before impact. Enough time for the message to get out. For people to hear it. Before the EMP effects knock out communications. Before the infrastructure collapses completely. I need to explain what's in that speech. First draft language. I'm pulling it up on my terminal. Classified. Authorized personnel only. I'm authorized. I'm the one transmitting it. Let me read key sections. Quote, my fellow Americans, in the next few minutes, nuclear weapons will impact cities across our nation. Millions will die. There is no shelter adequate to protect against the scale of this attack. There is no evacuation possible. If you are in a target city, survival is not likely. End quote. That's the opening. The actual opening. Not we'll get through this. Not American strength. Not hope. Survival is not likely. The speechwriters, they're not sugarcoating it. They're telling the truth. Final message. No point in lying anymore. More sections. Quote, our retaliation has been launched. The Russian Federation will suffer equal devastation. This brings no comfort, no victory, only the certainty of mutual annihilation. Both nations will cease to exist as functioning societies. End quote. 12 minutes. Quote, to those in shelter. Your survival beyond the initial strikes depends on factors outside our control. Fallout patterns, radiation levels, infrastructure collapse, supply chains, medical care. All of these systems are failing. The government cannot guarantee rescue, cannot guarantee aid. Continuity of government protocols prioritize leadership survival, not civilian rescue operations. You are on your own. End quote. You are on your own. That's what the president is going to say. That's the final message. No false hope. No we'll rebuild. No American resilience. You're on your own. We're not coming. I'm sitting here, in the Situation Room, with the senior leadership, military command, cabinet members who made it here in time. 23 people total. These are the ones who survive. The ones in the hardened facility. The ones the protocol prioritizes. My son is 8 miles away in a school with inadequate shelter. My wife is 8 miles away at a hospital that's about to be overwhelmed. I'm here. Safe. Protected. Priority personnel. That's what continuity of government means. Save the leadership. Let everyone else. Let them. 11 minutes. I should leave. I should run. Get in a car. Drive to Bethesda. Get Owen. Drive to Walter Reed. Get Jennifer. Drive west. Out of the city. Away from the blast. 11 minutes. 8 miles to Bethesda. Traffic conditions. I'm pulling up traffic cameras. Gridlock. Complete standstill. Everyone trying to evacuate. Cars abandoned on highways. People running on foot. 8 miles in 11 minutes. In that traffic. Impossible. Can't reach them. Can't save them. I'm here and they're there, and I can't reach them. But I'm the one who's going to transmit the president's final message. The message that says survival is impossible. The message that says you're on your own. That's why I'm recording this. 10 minutes. The president just entered the broadcast room. I can see it on the monitor. Prepared to record. Speech in hand. Final address. Ready to tell 300 million Americans that there's no hope. And here's the thing. Here's what I need to document. The speech is true. Every word. Every assessment. I've seen the classified briefings. The casualty projections. The infrastructure collapse models. The fallout patterns. The radiation dispersal. The electromagnetic pulse effects. The supply chain failures. The medical system breakdown. Survival rate in target cities. First strike casualties, 80%. Secondary effects over next 30 days, another 15%. Long-term radiation exposure, famine, disease, violence. Total survival rate at 6 months. 2 to 5% of pre-war population. 320 million Americans. Expected survivors at 6 months. 6 to 16 million. The president is going to tell the truth. Because there's no point in lying. Not anymore. Owen, my son, 9 years old, loves soccer, loves video games, wants to be a paleontologist, obsessed with dinosaurs, has every book, every documentary memorized. He can name every species, every period. Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. Last night, he asked me about the news, about the tensions with Russia, about whether there'd be a war. I told him no. I told him grown-ups would figure it out. I told him he was safe. I told him not to worry. I lied to him. 9 minutes now. The president is reviewing the final speech. Last edits. Speech writers making changes. I'm monitoring the feed. Waiting for final version. My job is to transmit it. Authenticate. Route to emergency broadcast system. Every channel. Every frequency. Last message to America before the lights go out. Here's what else is in the speech. Final sections I haven't mentioned yet. Quote, to our allies, we cannot help you. To our enemies, we have destroyed you. To humanity, we have failed you. This is the end of the world we knew. What comes after, if anything comes after, will be shaped by those few who survive. May you build something better from the ashes. May you remember what we destroyed. May you never repeat our mistakes. End quote. May you never repeat our mistakes. That's the ending. That's the final words from the President of the United States. Not God bless America. Not we shall overcome. May you never repeat our mistakes. 8 minutes. I'm trying Owen again. School's line. Busy signal. Still busy. Network's completely overloaded. Jennifer. Her cell. No connection. Call won't even go through. Network's collapsing in real time. 7 minutes. The broadcast room. The president is ready. Final speech approved. Handed to me for transmission setup. I'm receiving it now. Digital file. Audio and video. Ready for broadcast. My job. Route to EAS, emergency alert system. Override every channel. Every frequency. Presidential authority. Emergency broadcast. I have the controls right here. Authentication required. 2-person verification. Me and Colonel Rafferty. Both of us have to authenticate. Colonel Rafferty is next to me, looking at his terminal. He knows what's in the speech. He's read it too. His family. His daughter. She's in New York. First Russian second-wave target. Impact projected for 14:55. 3 minutes after DC. He can't reach her either. We're both sitting here, about to broadcast a message that says there's no hope. That says survival is impossible. That says you're on your own. And our families are out there. 6 minutes. The authentication codes. I'm pulling them up. Colonel Rafferty is doing the same. 2-person rule. Both of us authenticate. Then the broadcast goes out. I'm looking at the final speech file. Ready for transmission. There's something else. Something attached. Classified appendix. Eyes only. Not for broadcast. I'm opening it. It's the actual casualty projections. The real numbers. The ones they didn't put in the speech. First strike casualties. Russian first wave. 93 million Americans. Dead in first 30 minutes. U.S. retaliation. Our strikes on Russia. 147 million Russians. Dead in first 30 minutes. Russian second wave. U.S. cities. Another 82 million Americans. Dead in next 30 minutes. Total immediate deaths. First hour. 175 million Americans. 147 million Russians. 322 million people. Dead in 1 hour. Fallout. Radiation. nuclear winter, famine, disease, global casualties. First year, estimated 4.2 billion. 4.2 billion people, more than half of humanity, dead in the first year. This appendix, it's marked, do not broadcast, internal assessment only. Truth for leadership, not for public consumption, but the president's speech, the one we're about to broadcast. It tells the truth anyway, just, less specific, less numerical, more merciful maybe. Survival is not likely. That's more merciful than saying 95% of you will be dead by this time next year. 5 minutes. Colonel Rafferty. He's looking at me. Authentication codes ready. Waiting for my confirmation. Waiting to send the final presidential address. I should authenticate. That's my duty. That's my job. Transmit the president's final message. Let America hear the truth. No false hope. No lies. Just reality. But my son is out there. 8 miles away, in a school with inadequate shelter, with third-degree burn radius, with thermal pulse, with blast effects. The speech says survival is not likely. The classified appendix says 95% mortality. Owen is in that 95%. Statistically, mathematically, he's going to die. Jennifer is in that 95%. She's going to die. And I'm here, in the 5%. The continuity of government. The leadership bunker, the ones who survive, for minutes. I'm looking at the authentication screen. One button, press to confirm. Colonel Rafferty presses his. Both buttons, speech broadcasts. America hears the truth that there's no hope, the truth that they're going to die, the truth that we're not coming to save them. My finger is on the button. 3 minutes. Owen, I'm trying one more time. School's emergency line. Someone answers. An adult, male voice, stressed, background noise, chaos, screaming, children screaming. I'm identifying myself. Major Thornton, White House Communications. My son Owen Thornton, 3rd grade. Mrs. Reeves's class. Can you confirm his status? Can you tell me if he's in shelter? The voice. Quote, Sir, we have 400 students. We're trying to get everyone to basement. Some didn't make it before the announcement. Some parents came, took their kids. We're doing the best we can. I can't confirm individual students. End quote. Can you just, please? Owen Thornton, 9 years old, brown hair, blue jacket, soccer. He loves soccer. Please can you just tell me if you've seen him? Quote, Sir, I'm sorry. I have to. There are students. We need. I'm sorry. End quote. The line cuts. Gone. I don't know if Owen's in the shelter. Don't know if someone got him. Don't know if Jennifer somehow reached him. Don't know if he's alone. Don't know if he's scared. 9 years old, and I don't know if he's safe. 2.5 minutes. The president is on screen. Ready for broadcast. Waiting for authentication. Waiting for me to press the button. Waiting to tell America the truth. Colonel Rafferty. Quote, Major, we need to authenticate. 2 minutes until impact. The message needs to go out. End quote. I know we need to. My son. Quote, I know. My daughter. But this is our duty. The president. The final message. People deserve the truth. End quote. People deserve the truth. Owen deserves his father. Jennifer deserves her husband. But they're 8 miles away, and I'm here and I have duty, and I have orders and I have 2 minutes. I'm pressing the button. Authentication confirmed. Colonel Rafferty presses his. Both authenticated. The broadcast is transmitting. Emergency alert system activating. Every channel. Every frequency. Presidential seal. Stand by for message from the President of the United States. The President is speaking. I can hear it on the monitors. On every screen. Every speaker. Quote, My fellow Americans, in the next few minutes, nuclear weapons will impact cities across our nation. End quote. The truth. The actual truth. Broadcasting right now. To 300 million Americans. Most of whom are about to die. Owen, if you're hearing this, if somehow you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not there. I'm sorry I told you it would be okay. I'm sorry I lied. Jennifer, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 1 minute. The President. Quote, survival is not likely. There is no shelter adequate. There is no evacuation possible. If you are in a target city, these are your final moments. Spend them with loved ones if you can. Make peace if you can. Know that you are not alone in this. Millions are with you. End quote. 30 seconds. Quote, to those few who survive, you inherit a broken world. Rebuild if you can. Remember us if you can. Learn from our failure. May you never repeat our mistakes. End quote. The speech ends. The broadcast continues. Emergency tone. Shelter in place. Away from windows. Interior rooms. Basements. Too late. All of it too late. 10 seconds. I'm watching the countdown. Impact projection. 800 kilotons. Airburst over the White House. Owen, I love you. Jennifer, I love you. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry The flash. I can't see it. We're underground. 100 feet down. But the monitors. The external cameras. They white out. Completely white. Overloaded. Too bright to capture. Duration. 3 seconds. The thermal pulse. 3 seconds of sunlight brightness. Then the screens go black. Cameras destroyed. External sensors destroyed. We're blind now. Can't see outside. Can't see what's happening up there. The blast wave. We feel it. Even 100 feet down. The facility shakes. Reinforced concrete. Blast doors. Engineered to survive. It shakes. Everything shakes. Lights flicker. Emergency power kicks in. We're still here. Still alive. Owen was 8 miles away. Jennifer was 8 miles away. At 8 miles, the thermal pulse. 3rd degree burns. Anyone outside. Anyone near windows. The blast wave. Severe damage to buildings. Partial collapse. The school. Bethesda Elementary. The hospital. Walter Reed. I don't know if the shelters. I'm trying the phone again. School's line. No connection. No signal. No network. The EMP, electromagnetic pulse. It hit. Fried electronics. Communications infrastructure. Everything above ground. Gone. We have hardened communications here. Shielded equipment. Military frequencies. But civilian networks. Cell towers. Internet. Broadcast. All of it. Gone. I can't reach them. Can't call. Can't confirm. Can't know. The classified appendix. The one attached to the president's speech. I'm pulling it up again. The survival calculations. At 8 miles from 800 kiloton airburst. With basement shelter. Protection factor 7. Survival rate. 20 to 40%. Depending on specific conditions. Structure integrity. Shelter depth. Window exposure. 20 to 40%. That means 60 to 80%. Dead. Owen is. He's probably. The odds say. No. No, I can't. I need to. Focus. Document. That's my job. Keep recording. Colonel Rafferty. He's at his terminal. Trying to get information. Satellite feeds. Military reconnaissance. Status reports from other facilities. He's pulling up data. I can see his screen. The feed's coming in. New York. Impact confirmed. Manhattan. 800 kilotons. 14:55 hours. 3 minutes after DC. Boston. Impact confirmed. 700 kilotons. 14:56 hours. Philadelphia. Impact confirmed. 600 kilotons. 14:57 hours. Every 30 seconds. Another city. Another impact. Another million people. Chicago. Impact confirmed. 14:58 hours. Atlanta. Impact confirmed. 14:59 hours. Houston. Impact confirmed. 1500 hours. 18 major cities. Russian second wave. All impacts within 15 minutes. Total casualties. Second wave alone. 82 million Americans. That was the estimate. The classified projection. 82 million. Dead in 15 minutes. I can't. The numbers. They're too big. Can't comprehend. 82 million people. Owen. Just Owen. I can comprehend Owen. 9 years old. My son. That's real. That's something I can. Focus. Keep documenting. Why I'm recording this. The president's speech. The final address. It went out. We broadcast it. Emergency alert system. every channel, every frequency, for 90 seconds before the impacts. Before the EMP knocked everything out, people heard it. Millions heard it. The truth. Survival is not likely. You're on your own. May you never repeat our mistakes. That was the last thing they heard. Before the flash. Before the blast. Before they died. The truth. We told them the truth. No false hope. No comforting lies. Just reality. And here's what I need to document. Here's why this recording matters. There's more. More than the speech. More than what was broadcast. I mentioned the classified appendix. The casualty projections. The real numbers. The ones not for public consumption. There are other documents. Other files. Classified. Eyes only. Leadership briefings. I have access. White House communications. I have clearance for presidential briefings. Command and control protocols. Continuity of government documents. I'm looking at them now. While we wait. While we sit here in safety. While millions die above us. There's a file. Dated 6 months ago. May 25, 2025. Defense Department Assessment. Nuclear Exchange Probability Analysis. I'm opening it. The assessment. It calculated this. 6 months ago. They knew. Let me read sections. Quote, probability of nuclear exchange with Russian Federation within 12 months. 68%. Contributing factors. Ukraine conflict escalation. NATO expansion tensions. Strategic weapon modernization. Diplomatic channels deteriorating. End quote. 68%. They calculated. 6 months before it happened. They knew the odds. More sections. Quote, recommended actions. Continuity of government preparation. Leadership bunker readiness. Essential personnel identification. Advanced warning for COG personnel 48 to 72 hours pre-event optimal. Public notification contraindicated to prevent panic and infrastructure collapse. End quote. Public notification contraindicated. They knew. 6 months ago. Knew there was 68% chance of nuclear war within a year. Knew we should prepare. And they decided. Don't tell the public. Tell leadership only. Get the important people ready. Let everyone else. Let them be surprised. I'm looking at another document. Dated October 15th. 3 weeks ago. Updated assessment. Nuclear exchange probability revised to 84% within 30 days. 84%. 3 weeks ago. They knew it was coming. Knew it was likely. Knew it was almost certain. And they didn't tell anyone. Didn't warn the public. Didn't evacuate cities. Didn't distribute emergency supplies. Didn't. Anything. There's a distribution list. On these assessments. Who received them? Who knew? President. Vice President. Secretary of Defense. Secretary of State. Joint Chiefs. National Security Advisor. Homeland Security. FEMA Director. Senior Leadership. Cabinet level. Military Command. They all knew. 3 weeks ago. They knew. 84% probability. Almost certain. And they didn't tell anyone. Owen didn't know. Jennifer didn't know. 300 million Americans didn't know. We didn't know to evacuate. Didn't know to stock shelters. Didn't know to prepare. Because public notification contraindicated. I'm looking at more files. More documents. The decision matrix. The reasoning behind keeping it secret. Quote, public advance warning of high probability nuclear exchange risks. Mass panic. Infrastructure collapse from attempted evacuation. Economic devastation from preemptive shutdown. Supply chain failure from hoarding. Potential for social breakdown and violence exceeding nuclear casualties. Recommendation. Maintain operational security. Preserve social order until event occurs. Ensure continuity of government protocols executed for leadership survival. End quote. They chose. They made a choice. Tell leadership. Save ourselves. Let everyone else. Die unprepared. Because warning them might cause panic. Might cause economic problems. Might disrupt social order. Better to let them die by surprise. Better to keep them calm and ignorant until the missiles hit. My son was kept calm and ignorant. He went to school this morning. Normal Monday. Math class. Reading. Lunch. Recess. Soccer with his friends. And then. Flash. Thermal pulse. Blast wave. Because telling him. telling his mother, telling 300 million Americans that might have caused problems for the economy, for social order. I'm the rage. I'm trying to. Professional. Document. Keep recording. But they knew. They fucking knew. 3 weeks ago. 84%. Almost certain. And they chose to save themselves and let everyone else die unprepared. Colonel Rafferty. He's looking at me. He's seeing what I'm seeing. Same clearance. Same access. Same files. Quote. Major. You're reading the assessment. End quote. Yes. You knew. Did you know? Quote. I got briefed. 2 weeks ago. October 20th. Senior military personnel. Need to know basis. Told to prepare personal affairs quietly. Not to alarm family members. Not to discuss outside secure channels. End quote. You knew 2 weeks ago. Quote. Yes. End quote. Your daughter. In New York. Did you? Did you get her out? Long pause. Quote. No. If I evacuated her, people would ask questions. Would wonder why. Operational security. I was ordered to maintain normal routines. If senior military start evacuating families, public notices. Panic starts. So I followed orders. End quote. His daughter. New York. Impact confirmed. 800 kilotons. 15 minutes ago. He knew. 2 weeks ago. And he didn't evacuate her. Because orders. Because operational security. Because maintaining the secret was more important than saving her life. Quote. I made my choice, Major. Same choice you made. Duty over family. We're the ones in the bunker. They're the ones who paid the price. End quote. I didn't know. I didn't get briefed. I didn't have 2 weeks warning. Quote. Your White House communications. GS-14 civilian position. Not military command. You didn't have need to know. End quote. Need to know. I didn't need to know my son was going to. That my wife was going to. I didn't need to know to prepare them. To get them to safety. 2. Quote. Major. I'm sorry. But that's how COG works. Leadership survival. Essential personnel. Everyone else. That's the protocol. That's what we signed up for. End quote. I didn't sign up for my son to die while I hide in a bunker. I need to. Keep documenting. There are more files. Communication protocols. The presidential speech. The final address. When was it written? I'm searching. Found it. Speech draft history. First draft. October 20th. 2 weeks ago. Same day senior military got briefed. They wrote the president's final speech 2 weeks before the war started. The speech that said survival is impossible. The speech that said you're on your own. They wrote it. Revised it. Edited it. Prepared it. 2 weeks in advance. Because they knew it was coming. Knew they'd need it. Knew they'd have to tell the truth after keeping the lie for so long. My hands are shaking. Can't hold the recorder steady. The rage. How do I process this? My son is dead. Probably dead. 80% probability. Because no one told us. Because I didn't know. Because they decided we didn't need to know. And I'm here. Safe. In the bunker. Because I'm essential personnel. Because my role is important. Because my survival matters for continuity of government. Owen's survival didn't matter. Jennifer's survival didn't matter. 82 million Americans' survival didn't matter. What mattered was keeping them calm. Keeping them ignorant. Keeping them functioning normally right up until the moment the missiles hit. So the economy wouldn't collapse early. So there wouldn't be panic. So the leadership could prepare quietly while everyone else. I'm trying to. Professional documentation. That's what this is. Official record. But I can't. The objectivity. It's gone. This is my son. My wife. This is personal and I can't separate it, and I don't want to separate it. They knew. The people in this room. The senior leadership. They knew. And they let it happen. Let everyone die. To preserve order. To maintain control. To save themselves. And now they want continuity of government. Want to rebuild. Want to lead what's left. Lead who's left. The survivors. The ones they didn't warn. The ones they left to die. Those are the people they want to lead. I have the recording equipment right here. The same equipment I used to broadcast the president's final speech. I have the classified files right here. The assessments, the warnings, the decision to keep it secret. All of it. I can broadcast this. I can put this on every frequency, every channel. The hardened communications still work. Military satellites, emergency broadcast networks. They're still functional. I can tell the survivors the truth. Not just survival is impossible. The whole truth. They knew. They chose not to warn you. They saved themselves and let you die. That's the truth that needs to be documented. That's the truth that needs to be broadcast. Colonel Rafferty, he's watching me. He knows what I'm thinking. Quote, "Don't, Major. That's classified. Those files are need to know. You broadcast that, it's treason. It's undermining continuity of government." End quote. Continuity of government. The government that let my son die. That let 82 million Americans die. That government. That's what I'd be undermining. Good. Quote, "Major Thornton, I'm ordering you. Stand down. Do not access broadcast equipment. That's a direct order." End quote. "You're not my commanding officer. I'm civilian. GS-14. Remember? Not need to know. Not military chain of command." Quote, "Major, please, think about what you're doing. There are survivors out there. Radiation. Fallout. Chaos. They need leadership. They need government. They need." End quote. "They need the truth. They need to know what was done to them. They need to know that their government knew and chose to let them die. That's what they need." I'm accessing the broadcast system. Authentication. My codes still work. The equipment is active. Hardened communications. I can reach emergency frequencies. Reach the survivors. The ones with working radios. Working receivers. Military channels. Ham radio frequencies. All of them. Colonel Rafferty. He's standing. Moving toward me. Quote, "Major, I'm warning you. Don't do this." End quote. I'm doing it. I'm recording. Preparing the broadcast. The classified files. I'm compiling them. Audio documentation. Evidence. Truth. The survivors deserve to know. Owen deserves. Deserved. Deserved to know. Broadcasting now. Emergency frequency 7. Military channel. I'm transmitting. This is Major Declan Thornton. White House Communications. Situation Room. Broadcasting from White House Secure Facility. Time is 15:23 hours Eastern Standard. 31 minutes post-impact, Washington, D.C. If you're hearing this, if you survived, if you have working receiver, this is the truth. This is what they didn't tell you. I'm transmitting classified documents. Defense Department assessments. The ones marked eyes only. The ones leadership saw. The ones you weren't allowed to see. Assessment dated May 25th. 6 months ago. Nuclear exchange probability. 68% within 12 months. They knew. They calculated. They prepared. Assessment dated October 15th. 3 weeks ago. Probability revised. 84% within 30 days. Almost certain. They knew it was coming. Recommendation. Advanced warning for continuity of government personnel. 48 to 72 hours optimal. Public notification contraindicated. They chose not to tell you. Chose to keep you ignorant. Chose to save themselves while 82 million Americans died unprepared. Colonel Rafferty, he's drawing his sidearm. Beretta M9, standard issue. He's pointing it at me. Quote, "Major Thornton, cease transmission immediately." That's a direct order. End quote. I'm continuing transmission. The files, I'm uploading them. Broadcasting the documents. Every frequency. Military satellites. Emergency channels. The truth is getting out. Quote, "Major, I will shoot. I will stop this transmission. Stand down. Now." End quote. My son Owen, 9 years old. Bethesda Elementary, 8 miles from ground zero. Dead. Probably dead. Because no one warned us. Because I didn't know to get him to safety. Because operational security. My wife Jennifer. Walter Reed Hospital. 8 miles away. Dead. Probably dead. For the same reason. 82 million Americans. Dead. Because public notification contraindicated. Shoot me. I'm finishing this transmission first. The presidential speech. Final address. They wrote it 2 weeks ago, October 20th, before the war started. They knew they'd need it, knew they'd have to admit the truth eventually. After keeping the lie until the last moment. Survival is not likely. That's what the president said. That's what we broadcast. 90 seconds before impact. 90 seconds of truth after weeks of lies. Quote, Major, please. There are procedures. Oversight. If you want to expose this, there are channels. Official channels. Don't do it this way. End quote. Official channels. The ones that kept it secret for 3 weeks. Those channels. No. This way. Right now. While people can still hear. While survivors still have power. While the truth still matters. I'm transmitting the final documents. The casualty projections. The decision matrix. The reasoning for silence. All of it. Broadcasting everything. To the survivors listening. You were betrayed. Your government knew. Chose to save themselves. Chose to let you die. That's the truth. That's what continuity of government means. Continue the government. Not the people. The government. Colonel Rafferty. His hand is shaking. Gun pointed at my head. 10 feet away. He's not shooting. He's hesitating. Quote, They knew about my daughter. They knew she'd probably die. They ordered me not to evacuate her. I followed orders. I killed my daughter by following orders. And you're telling everyone. Everyone knows now. Everyone knows we. End quote. His voice breaks. Professional military officer. 23 years service. Voice breaking. Gun shaking. Quote, I didn't want to. I thought maybe if I followed protocol, did my duty, maybe somehow. But she's dead. New York. Gone. And I followed orders. I let her die. And now everyone knows. Everyone knows what we did. End quote. Everyone needs to know. The survivors. They need to know what was done to them. What was done to their families. What was done to 82 million Americans. I'm completing the transmission. Final upload. All classified files. All assessments. All evidence. Broadcasting on all available frequencies. Military. Emergency. Ham radio bands. Everything. To anyone listening. This is the truth. Download it. Save it. Share it. Don't let them bury it again. Don't let them rewrite history. Remember. Remember what they did. Remember what continuity of government means. Remember who they saved and who they let die. Transmission complete. All files broadcast. The truth is out. Colonel Rafferty. He's lowering his weapon. Sitting down. Gun on the table. Head in his hands. Quote, What have we done? What did we? My daughter. I should have evacuated her. Screw the orders. Screw operational security. I should have saved my daughter. End quote. I should have saved my son. Should have ignored duty. Ignored responsibility. Should have gotten them out. Driven to Montana. Canada. Somewhere safe. Somewhere away from the targets. But I didn't know. I didn't get briefed. I didn't have 2 weeks warning. You did. You knew and you still. You followed orders and let her die. Quote, Yes, I did. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. End quote. Sorry doesn't bring them back. Sorry doesn't change it. Sorry doesn't. The communications console. Incoming message. Someone's responding to the broadcast. Multiple signals. Coming in on emergency frequencies. I'm receiving. Opening the channels. First message. Audio only. Male voice. Shaking. Quote, This is anyone there? Is this real? The files you broadcast. Is it true? They knew. They fucking knew and didn't tell us? My wife. My kids. They were in Boston. They're gone. There. And you're saying the government knew? Knew and didn't warn us? End quote. Yes. It's true. The files are authentic. Classified Defense Department assessments. They knew. Second message. Different voice. Female. Angry. Quote, White House communications. You're broadcasting from the White House bunker? You're in the secure facility? You survived? While my family. While my parents. While everyone I know. You're safe underground and you're telling me they knew. They let us die and save themselves? End quote. Yes. Continuity of government. Leadership survival. Essential personnel. That's the protocol. Save the important people. Let everyone else. Let you die. Third message. Ham radio operator. Call sign K. E9LXM quote. Monitoring your transmission. Received all files. Downloading. Will rebroadcast on all available frequencies. Other operators copying. The truth will spread. Everyone will know. End quote. Good. That's what needs to happen. The truth needs to spread. Can't be contained. Can't be classified anymore. More messages coming in. Dozens. Hundreds. Survivors with working radios. Military personnel. Ham operators. Emergency responders. All receiving the broadcast. All responding. Some angry. Some grieving. Some thanking me. For the truth. For exposing it. I don't want thanks. I want my son back. I want my wife back. I want the 82 million back. I want the warning that could have saved them. But it's done. The missiles launched. The cities burned. The people died. And now at least they know. The survivors know what was done to them. Know who to blame. Not just Russia. Not just the enemy. Their own government. The one that chose silence. Chose secrecy. Chose self-preservation over public safety. That's the truth I broadcast. That's the truth that's spreading right now across every surviving frequency. Colonel Rafferty. Still sitting. Head in hands. Not moving. The situation room. Other personnel. They're watching me. Some shocked. Some angry. Some nodding. Like they agree. Like they're glad someone said it. The president. Where is the president? I'm checking the monitors. The secure locations. Presidential shelter. He's there. With the vice president. Secretary of Defense. Senior cabinet. They're watching the communications feed. They know what I just broadcast. They know the classified files are out. They know everyone knows. Incoming message. Presidential channel. Encrypted. High priority. I'm receiving it. It's the president. Audio only. His voice. Quote. Major Thornton. I'm ordering you to cease all unauthorized transmissions. The documents you broadcast are classified. You've violated national security protocols. You've undermined continuity of government authority. You will be placed under arrest. Court-martial for treason. Do you understand? End quote. I understand. I understand that you knew. Understood that 84% probability 3 weeks ago. Understood that you chose not to warn anyone. Understood that my son is dead because you wanted to preserve social order. I understand perfectly. Quote, Major, there were reasons. Good reasons. Mass evacuation impossible. Panic would have killed more. Infrastructure collapse. You don't understand the decision matrix. The calculations. We chose the path that saved the most lives. End quote. You chose the path that saved your life. That saved leadership. That saved continuity of government. The most lives. That's not what you calculated. You calculated the most important lives. And my son wasn't on that list. Quote, I'm sorry about your son. About your family. But the decision was made with full assessment of all factors. We did what we thought was right. What we thought would preserve the most. End quote. You thought wrong. And now everyone knows. The survivors know. They know you let them die. They know you saved yourselves. They know the truth. Good luck leading them now. Good luck with your continuity of government when the people you're supposed to govern know you sacrificed them. Good luck. I'm ending the transmission. Turning off the presidential channel. Don't want to hear more justifications. More explanations. More lies. The broadcast is complete. The files are out. The truth is spreading. That's what I needed to do. That's why I'm recording this. For the record. For history. For whoever survives long enough to hear it. The government knew. 3 weeks advance warning. 84% probability. And they chose silence. Chose to let 82 million Americans die unprepared. Chose to save themselves while everyone else burned. That's the truth. That's what happened. That's what continuity of government means. Now everyone knows. Hour 4 post-impact. 1900 hours. Evening now. Outside. If there's still an outside that means anything, I'm still in the situation room. Still recording. Still alive. Colonel Rafferty arrested me. 2 hours ago. Military police. Detained for unauthorized transmission of classified materials. Treason charges pending. Court-martial. Execution probable. I don't care. The communications are still active. Messages still coming in. Hundreds of them. Thousands now. The broadcast spread. Ham radio operators rebroadcasting. Military frequencies. Emergency channels. Survivor networks. Everyone sharing the files. Everyone spreading the truth. The government can't contain it. Can't classify it again. Can't put it back in the box. It's out. Everywhere. The president issued a statement. 2 hours ago. Recorded message. Broadcast on remaining official channels. Quote, "The unauthorized transmission by Major Thornton contains classified materials taken out of context. The assessments he shared were preliminary analyses subject to ongoing evaluation. Warning the public would have caused greater harm. We stand by our decision. We acted to preserve as many lives as possible." End quote. Lies. More lies. Even now. Even after. Still lying. The survivors aren't believing it. The message is coming in. They're angry. They're coordinating. They're organizing. Groups forming. Survivor communities. And they're not looking to the government for leadership. They're rejecting it. Rejecting continuity of government. Rejecting the authority that let them die. Some messages calling for trials. War crimes tribunals. Judgment for the leaders who chose silence. Some messages calling for more direct action. Finding the bunkers. Finding the leaders. Justice. Revenge. The government. The one they wanted to preserve. The continuity they wanted to maintain. It's fracturing in real time. Because the survivors know the truth. Because I broadcast it. Because they know they were sacrificed. Owen. I still don't know. 4 hours since impact. I still don't know if he's alive. If he's dead. If he suffered. The communications to Bethesda. Still down. Cell networks destroyed. Landlines destroyed. No way to reach the area. No way to confirm. Jennifer. Same. Walter Reed. No contact. No confirmation. No way to know. The casualty estimates. They're coming in now. Preliminary reports. Satellite imagery. Radiation monitoring. Damage assessment. Washington, D.C. Ground Zero. White House location. 800 kiloton airburst. Total destruction within 2-mile radius. Severe damage within 8 miles. 8 miles. Owen. Jennifer. Both at 8 miles. The report. Casualties at 8 miles from 800 kiloton airburst. 70 to 90% immediate. Depending on shelter. Depending on structure. Depending on random chance. Random fucking chance. Owen had somewhere between 10 and 30% chance of survival. If the shelter held. If he reached it. If, I don't know. I'll never know. That's worse. Not knowing. Not certain of death. Not certain of life. Just uncertainty. Forever. Jennifer. Same odds. Same uncertainty. Same. I need to document. That's what this recording is. Documentation. Official record. What happened. What I did. Why I did it. The classified files I broadcast. They're being analyzed now. By survivors. By the ones with expertise. Scientists. Military personnel who weren't in on it. Civilians who understand the data. They're confirming it. The assessments were real. The probabilities accurate. The decision to maintain silence. It was deliberate. Calculated. The government chose. They chose to let everyone die unprepared rather than risk the disruption of warning them. The evacuation projections. They're in the files too. The ones I broadcast. If the government had warned everyone, had ordered evacuation, had given people 3 weeks to prepare, estimated survivors, 40 to 60%, instead of the 5% we're looking at now. My son, if I'd had 3 weeks warning, if I'd known, I could have driven him to Montana, to Jennifer's parents, to somewhere safe, somewhere away from the targets. He'd be alive. Jennifer would be alive. They'd both be alive. 40 to 60% of Americans would be alive. 100 to 200 million people. Alive. Instead of dead, because the government chose silence. That's what I exposed. That's what everyone knows now. That's why the messages keep coming in. Why survivors are organizing. Why continuity of government is collapsing. Because they know. They know it didn't have to be this way. Know that their families, their children, their loved ones, didn't have to die. Could have survived. Would have survived. If the government had chosen differently. The president's statement. His justification. Mass evacuation impossible. Panic would have killed more. Infrastructure collapse. The analysis files show otherwise. Show that organized evacuation over 3 weeks. Managed preparation. Supply distribution. Shelter improvement. It would have worked. Would have saved hundreds of millions. But it would have been difficult, expensive, disruptive. Would have crashed the stock market. Would have caused temporary shortages. Would have been inconvenient. So they chose silence. Chose to preserve normalcy until the missiles hit. Chose order over survival. And now the survivors know. Know what the government chose. Know what it cost. Know who paid the price. My son paid the price for their convenience. My wife paid the price for their order. 82 million Americans paid the price for their decision to maintain social stability. That's what I documented. That's what I broadcast. That's what I'm recording right now for whoever survives long enough to hear it. The military police. They're transferring me to detention. Court-martial proceedings. The charges are prepared. Treason. Unauthorized disclosure of classified information. Violation of continuity of government protocols. Maximum penalty. Execution. I don't care. Execute me. It doesn't change what I did. Doesn't change that the truth is out. Doesn't change that everyone knows. Colonel Rafferty. They arrested him too. Different charges. Failure to prevent unauthorized transmission. Dereliction of duty. He knew what I was doing. He tried to stop me. Drew his weapon. But he didn't shoot. He hesitated. And that hesitation. That's a crime now apparently. Should have killed me to protect the secret. Didn't. So now he's under arrest too. His daughter. New York. Impact confirmed. She's dead. He knows she's dead. And he knows he could have saved her. Had 2 weeks warning. Chose not to evacuate her. Chose orders over her life. Now he's in detention next to me. Both of us lost our families because of continuity of government. Both of us. He's not talking. Hasn't said anything since the arrest. Just sitting. Staring. Broken. I'm still recording. Still documenting. Because that's all I can do now. Record the truth. Make sure it's preserved. Make sure someone knows. Someday. What actually happened here. The files I broadcast. The classified documents. They include other things too. Things I didn't mention yet. Things about what comes next. Post-strike projections. What happens now? What happens to the survivors? To the world? Nuclear winter. Soot and debris in atmosphere. Global temperature drop. 3 to 8 degrees Celsius. Growing season disruption. Crop failures worldwide. Famine. Estimated additional deaths from starvation. First year. 2 billion people. Global. Not just America. Not just Russia. Everyone. Everywhere. The whole world starves because 2 countries. Because we. Because this. Owen. If he survived. If somehow he's alive. He'll face that. Nuclear winter. Famine. He's 9 years old and he'll starve. Even if the blast didn't kill him. Even if the radiation doesn't. The famine will. That's what the projections show. That's what the classified files document. Survival rate global. First year, 30 to 40%. 5 years, 10 to 20%. Long term, humanity survives. Probably, but reduced, diminished. Billions dead, and the government knew. Knew all of this. Knew that nuclear war meant the end of civilization. Knew it meant global famine. Knew it meant billions of deaths. And they did it anyway. We did it anyway. Launched everything. Retaliation. Mutual assured destruction. We knew what it would cost, and we did it anyway. Because Russia launched first. Because we had to respond. Because that's the protocol. Because MAD doctrine requires it. So we ended the world. Because the protocol said to. Because that's how it works. You launch, we launch, everyone dies. Owen is 9 years old. And he's going to die because we followed the protocol. The detention cell. They're moving me now. Military police. 2 guards. Taking me to holding. Court-martial tomorrow probably. Quick trial. Execution within days. Can't have someone like me alive. Someone who exposed the truth. Someone who undermined continuity of government. Better to execute me. Make an example. Show the survivors what happens when you tell the truth. When you expose what they did. I'm taking the recorder. Recording until they take it from me. Recording until they stop me. This needs to be documented. All of it. What I did. Why I did it. What it cost. What the government did. Why they did it. What it cost. The truth needs to survive. Even if I don't. Even if Owen doesn't. Even if. The truth. That's what matters now. To whoever finds this recording. To whoever survives long enough to hear it. Remember that your government knew. Had 3 weeks warning. 84% probability. And chose silence. Chose to save themselves. Chose to let you die unprepared. Remember that 40 to 60% could have survived. Could have been warned. Could have been saved. But weren't. Because convenience. Because order. Because preserving normalcy was more important than preserving lives. Remember what continuity of government means. Continue the government. Not the people. The government. Remember that my son Owen, 9 years old, Bethesda Elementary, he died because no one told us. Because I didn't know to save him. Because operational security. Remember all of it. Remember what they did. What we did. What this cost. And if you rebuild. If humanity survives this. If you create something new from the ashes. Don't repeat this. Don't create systems that prioritize power over people. Don't create protocols that save leaders and sacrifice citizens. Don't make the same mistakes. Learn from this. Learn from what happened here. Learn from the millions who died. The billions who'll die. Learn from Owen. Learn from Jennifer. Learn from every child who died because their government chose silence. Build something better. Build something that values life. All life. Not just important life. Not just essential personnel. Everyone. Build something that would have saved my son. That's all I have. That's my final statement. My testimony. My reason for all of this. I broadcast the truth because the survivors deserve to know. Because history deserves to know. Because Owen deserves to be remembered. Deserves for his death to mean something. I don't know if he's alive. Don't know if he's dead. I'll never know. They're executing me tomorrow probably. Before I can ever confirm. Before I can ever. No, but the truth is out. The files are spreading. Everyone knows what was done. What the government chose. What it cost. That's something. That's what I could do. The only thing I could do. Tell the truth. Expose the lie. Make sure everyone knows. For Owen. For Jennifer. For 82 million Americans. For 2 billion who'll starve in nuclear winter. For all of them, the truth is out. Remember,